You work hard, put in the effort to earn money, but at the end of the month, your bank account is still running on empty. No matter how much you make, your money just seems to disappear. If this sounds familiar, you might be caught in invisible financial traps that are keeping you from building wealth. The truth is, financial struggles don't happen overnight. They are the result of years of destructive money habits that often go unnoticed. And the worst part, most people only realize it when it's too late. But here's the good news. You can break free from this cycle. In today's video, I'm going to reveal 5 financial traps that are keeping you broke and how to escape them right now. If you want to take control of your money, avoid the mistakes that hold people back from building wealth, and start creating a solid financial future, stick with me until the end. Every single point in this video could make a huge difference in your life. Now, to understand why these traps are so dangerous, we first need to talk about how they start and why so many people fall into them without even realizing it. The problem with financial traps is that they don't seem like a problem at first. In fact, many of them look completely normal, even unavoidable. After all, who hasn't put something on a credit card without thinking twice? Who hasn't spent extra money on something just because they deserved it? And that's how it begins. Small decisions that over time create a cycle that's hard to break. You work, you make money, you spend it all, and when an emergency hits, you rely on credit. The debt grows, interest eats away at your income, and suddenly your finances are spiraling out of control. Now think about this. How many people do you know who make good money but are still drowning in debt? The problem isn't just how much you earn, it's how you manage your money. And this applies to everyone. If you feel like no matter how hard you work, your financial situation never improves, then it's time for a change. And the first step is recognizing these traps. So let's dive straight into the first one. One of the most common and dangerous traps, living paycheck to paycheck. If you feel like you're always chasing money but never actually getting ahead, don't worry. You're not alone. Most people experience this at some point in their lives. But the difference between those who stay stuck in this cycle and those who build wealth is recognizing and eliminating these bad habits as soon as possible. That's why, in this video, I'm going to expose the 5 biggest financial traps that are draining your money without you even realizing it. More importantly, I'll show you how to escape each one and completely transform your financial future. These traps are responsible for keeping millions of people stuck in poverty, even those with high incomes. So pay close attention to each one because even a small mistake here can cost you years of financial progress. The first trap is a mistake that completely destroys any chance of building wealth: spending everything you earn. A lot of people believe that if they just made more money, their financial problems would disappear. But reality proves otherwise. There are plenty of high earners who are still drowning in debt. Why? Because they spend everything they make, or even more than that. This is the biggest financial mistake anyone can make. When you live paycheck to paycheck, without savings, investments, or a financial plan, any unexpected expense can turn into a crisis. A medical emergency, a car repair, a sudden job loss, and suddenly you're buried in debt. And it gets worse. The more money people make, the more their lifestyle inflates. This is called lifestyle inflation. You get a raise, and instead of saving or investing, you upgrade to a more expensive car, move into a bigger house, or spend more on entertainment. The result? You're still broke at the end of the month, no matter how much you earn. So how do you escape this trap? Here are 3 essential steps. 1. Follow a golden rule for your money. Set aside a fixed percentage of your income for investments before spending on anything else. A great starting point is the 50-30-20 rule. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings and investments. 2. Avoid unnecessary lifestyle upgrades. Before making a big purchase, ask yourself, do I really need this right now, or can I invest this money to make it grow? Build an emergency fund. Having at least 3 to 6 months worth of expenses saved up protects you from unexpected situations and keeps you from relying on loans or credit cards. The truth is, no one builds wealth without controlling their spending. But there's something that can drain your money even faster than spending everything you earn: debt. And that's the next financial trap we need to talk about. The debt trap. If there's one thing that can wreck your financial future fast, it's debt. But not just any debt. The real problem is excessive debt, especially from easy credit and high interest rates. Credit cards, long-term financing, high-interest loans, all of these might seem like solutions at first, but in reality, they are traps that can drain your income for years. The biggest issue? Most people don't realize the true cost of debt until it's too late. Let's look at a real example. Imagine you have $5,000 in credit card debt with an APR of 25%, which is common in the US. If you only make the minimum payment each month, your debt could more than double in just a few years due to interest alone. Now think about this. How much of your money could be invested in growing, but instead it's being wasted on interest payments? The truth is, banks profit from your debt, and the longer you stay trapped in it, the harder it is to escape. So how do you break free from the debt cycle? Here are 3 key steps. 1, know exactly how much you owe. Many people avoid checking their debt because they're afraid of what they'll see. But the only way to fix the problem is to face it. List all your debts, including interest rates and payment terms. This will hurt debt too. Prioritize paying off high-interest debt first. One effective strategy is the debt avalanche method. Focus on paying off the debt with the highest interest rate first to minimize costs. Alternatively, you can use the snowball method. Pay off smaller debts first for quick wins and motivation. Stop taking on new debt while paying off old debt. It sounds obvious, but many people continue financing purchases while trying to get out of debt. The rule is simple. If you can't pay for it in cash, you probably can't afford it. Debt can be a major obstacle, but there's an even bigger mistake: not making your money work for you. And that's the next financial trap we need to discuss. The investing trap. If you still think that investing is too complicated, too risky, or only for the rich, then pay close attention. Not investing is one of the biggest financial traps keeping you broke. Here's the reality. If your money is just sitting in a checking account, a piggy bank, or even a low-yield savings account, you're losing purchasing power every day. Why? Because of inflation, which erodes the value of money over time. To put this in perspective, imagine that 10 years ago you had $10,000 sitting in a savings account. Today, due to inflation, that money would buy significantly less than it did back then. However, if you had invested that same $10,000 in an asset with an average 10% return per year, you would now have over $25,000. What does this mean? Investors make their money work for them, while those who don't invest are unknowingly losing money every day. But if investing is so important, why don't more people do it? Because we were taught to only earn and spend money, not to grow it. So how do you start investing the right way? Here are 3 simple steps. 1, understand that investing is not just for the rich. Today, you can start with as little as $100. There are plenty of accessible options like index funds, ETFs, and even fractional shares of stocks. 2, choose investments that align with your goals and risk tolerance. If you want stability, consider bonds and index funds. If you're looking for higher returns over time, explore stocks and real estate. The key is not letting your money sit idle. 3, make investing a habit. Investing isn't something you do once and forget about. It should be a regular part of your financial routine. Even small, consistent investments can create massive long-term results. Now, investing is crucial, but it won't matter if you're losing money without even realizing it. And that brings us to the next financial trap: invisible expenses. The hidden expenses trap. Have you ever felt like your money just disappears? You check your bank account and wonder where it all went? If this happens to you, chances are you're falling victim to hidden expenses. Small, seemingly harmless costs that slowly drain your ability to save and invest. Here are some classic examples. Subscriptions and services you don't even use anymore. Streaming platforms, paid apps, and membership programs that auto-charge your credit card every month. Unnecessary bank fees and charges. Monthly account fees that could be avoided. credit card annual fees that could be waived, small daily purchases, coffee shop runs, food deliveries, impulse buys at the mall. On their own, they seem insignificant, but over time, they add up to a huge amount. Now, let's break it down. If you spend $5 a day on unnecessary things, that's $150 a month and over $1,800 a year. That's money that could be invested and working for you. So, how do you escape this trap? 1. Review your fixed expenses. Cancel unused subscriptions and switch to fee-free bank accounts and credit cards. 2. Track your spending. You can't fix what you don't measure. Write down your expenses to see exactly where your money is going. 3. Avoid impulse purchases. Before buying something, always ask, do I really need this, or is it just a momentary desire? But the most dangerous part of these expenses, they are often driven by a major financial mistake, the illusion of wealth. And that's what we need to talk about next. The illusion of wealth trap. Have you ever met someone who lives a luxurious lifestyle, but in reality, they're drowning in debt? This is a classic case of the illusion of wealth, one of the biggest financial mistakes keeping people stuck in a cycle of poverty without even realizing it. This happens when people mistake high spending for real wealth, and social media plays a big role in this. We're constantly shown that success means driving luxury cars, wearing designer clothes, and traveling the world. The problem? Most of these people are financing that lifestyle with debt, not with real assets. True wealth isn't measured by what you buy, it's measured by what you accumulate. Wealthy people don't spend everything to look rich. They invest, build assets, and make their money work for them. So how do you avoid this trap? 1. Redefine your idea of wealth. Instead of focusing on what you can buy, focus on what you can build. Your goal should be financial independence, not temporary status. 2. Stop comparing yourself to others. Social media only shows a highlight reel of people's lives, and in many cases, a fake one. 3. Prioritize wealth building. Instead of spending money to impress others, invest in assets that generate income and long-term financial freedom. At the end of the day, the difference between those who become wealthy and those who stay financially stuck isn't their salary, it's their daily financial habits. The final reflection. Now that you've learned about these 5 financial traps, the big question is, what are you going to do with this information? A lot of people watch videos like this, agree with everything, but never take action. And that's exactly what separates those who change their lives from those who stay stuck in the same financial struggles. The truth is, your current situation does not define your future. What truly matters is the decisions you make from this point forward. Small, consistent changes can completely transform your financial reality. So if you're currently stuck in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, or letting money slip through your fingers without realizing it, don't panic. The most important thing is that now you're aware of these traps and you know exactly how to escape them. Remember, wealth isn't luck, it's strategy. And the sooner you start applying these concepts, the faster you'll see results. But knowing this isn't enough. You need to take action. And that's exactly what I want to encourage you to do right now. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these financial traps do you struggle with the most? Drop a comment below and tell me which one you identified with and what step you're going to take to break free. And if this video helped you in any way, don't forget to hit the like button. It helps me bring more content like this to you. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos on personal finance, investing, and wealth building. Remember, the path to financial freedom starts with small daily decisions. And if you made it this far, you've already taken the first step. Now, keep moving forward. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Essa versão mantém o impacto do original e ajusta os exemplos e referências para o público do ZIUA. Está alinhado com o que você quer? Se precisar de ajustes, só me avisar.